let's see today's vermicelli upma or sevaya upma. Now first I've taken 2 cups of water, I've boiled it. To that I'm going to add 1 cup of this vermicelli and we're going to cook this for at least 8 to 10 minutes till it's nicely cooked. So just check it should be cooked really well and nice and soft. Then we're going to drain it or strain it. And then we're going to put some room temperature water thrice and nicely rinse it till it's completely drained of all the water. So this is our vermicelli all ready for the upma. Let's see the other ingredients. Here is some fresh coriander, about 2 teaspoons chopped finely for garnish, 1 teaspoon of urad dal. Here I have 1 tablespoon of raw peanuts, 1 small onion chopped fine, a few curry leaves and about 1 teaspoon of chili paste. You can also cut about 2 chilies fine, not the very spicy chilies, the light green chilies. Now from my masala box I'm going to be using half a teaspoon of mustard seeds, half a teaspoon of asafoetida or hinga and half a teaspoon of cumin seeds or jeera. So first I'm going to heat about 1 teaspoon of oil in my pan and I'm going to fry these raw peanuts till they're nice and golden brown in color. So these peanuts add a nice crunch to this upma. Alternatively, you can also use cashew nuts in place of peanuts, or you can add both if you want to make it really nice and delicious. Now this is a real great tiffin item because it gets ready so quickly. Now I've added 1 more teaspoon of oil and to that I'm now going to add mustard seeds, cumin seeds. Then I'm going to throw in the curry leaves. Next goes in the asafoetida. Now if you want to give this a yellow color, just add about half a teaspoon of haldi powder or turmeric. But I like to keep it white in color as the traditional way of this sevaya upma is. Then I'm going to add the chilies and the onion. So like I said, you can add whole chilies. In the sense, just take 2 green chilies, cut them fine and add that. Or accordingly add 1 chili if you don't want very spicy. And now I'm going to add the urad dal and fry the urad dal also very well. Mix everything really nice together, well together. Now we're going to add the fried peanuts back. And now we're going to add our cooked up sevaya or vermicelli. Mix everything well together. So this is a real quick tiffin item, quick breakfast item, or if you have some unexpected guests at home, this gets ready in less than 15 to 20 minutes. So mix everything nicely together. Now we're just going to add some salt to taste and about half a teaspoon of sugar. The sugar balances out the taste of this dish and really elevates the taste of this dish. And I like to garnish it with some freshly grated coconut. That is completely optional, but you can also garnish it with some finely chopped fresh coriander leaves. And that's it guys. Mix everything well together. Serve this nice and hot with a lovely cup of tea or coffee and enjoy this sevaya upma. Hope you give this recipe a try. Let's see today's delicious bread custard pudding. Now first we're going to make the custard. So here I'm going to be heating 1 liter of milk and here I've taken 2 tablespoons of custard powder and mixed it with 1/4 cup of milk. We will be needing 3/4 cups of sugar and here I've taken about 6 slices of bread, cut off the edges and just cut each slice into 4 pieces. I put them into a flat dish like this. Now we're going to add the sugar and we're going to mix the sugar into the milk till all of the sugar dissolves really well. So this is basically the ready-made custard powder that you get. All the instructions are given to just go as per the instruction packet. So now I'm going to mix this really well, and I'm going to mix the custard powder one more time because in this, it tends to settle to the bottom. So just give it one more whisk so that everything gets mixed up very well, and then add it to the milk and sugar mixture. I'm just trying to get all of that goodness into the milk, and then we're just going to stir it, and it almost immediately starts to thicken. Like, within a few seconds actually it starts to thicken. So keep an eye on it, don't leave it unattended, and then just turn off the heat, and you can see that it's nice and thick. This is the consistency we're looking for. It kind of sticks to the back of the spatula. So now I'm just going to pour this over the bread slices. And then I've just taken some nuts like almonds, cashew nuts, and pistachios, and I've just chopped them up fine. And I'm just going to add about half the quantity. So I have about half a cup. I'm just going to add about 1/4 cup of it. And this is now to be brought to room temperature and then refrigerated for about half an hour. Now here I have half a cup of fresh cream. I'm just going to whisk it using my electric whisk. If you don't have an electric whisk, don't worry, you can use the normal manual whisk. But just whisk it for about 5 minutes till it starts to thicken a bit. Now I'm going to add half a cup of condensed milk. Now I'll leave my recipe a link of how to make condensed milk at home. Now whisk the two ingredients well so that they get mixed up really well. So you can make condensed milk at home very simple. I will leave the recipe link down in the description box below. So mix the two of this really well, and then pour this over the now refrigerated bread and custard mixture. Actually, on second thought, I will leave the recipe for how to make condensed milk at the end of the video. So watch the video till the end so you don't have to go searching for the condensed milk make at home recipe. So now put all of this on top, evenly spread it out. And now we're going to put the remaining chopped nuts that we had. And now you have to refrigerate this for 4 to 5 hours. So this is after 2 hours because I was really impatient. I wanted to see how it tastes. So I was really impatient. So I just dug into it, and guys, it is so delicious. But don't worry, I'm going to stay very patient and I'm going to show it to you all after 4 to 5 hours. But I just wanted to see how it tastes. I was very interested in knowing the taste of this dessert. So after 2 hours of refrigeration, I dug into it, and the custard yet had to become a little more on the harder side, but right now also it is so delicious, guys. It's nice and chill, just perfect for the summertime. But don't worry, I will leave the end result after 4 to 5 hours after waiting patiently, so you'll get to see that, don't worry. So friends, I'll meet you after another 4 hours, and here it is after 4 hours of torture because I have a big sweet tooth. Me and my son, we both have extremely sweet tooths. My son Aryan and me. My daughter Ira and my husband Abhijit are like okay, but me and my son just crave sweet. And just look at this, the whole thing is set so well. So down is the lovely custard and top is like an ice cream layer. And you just dig into it. And guys, my mouth was literally, I don't know, I just wanted to have the first bite. And it is amazing. So the wait is really worth it for 4 to 5 hours. Try it out, guys. Let's see today's no cook instant condensed milk, where you get about 275 grams of condensed milk. Now here I have 1 cup of milk powder. I'm going to add it to a bowl. To that I'm going to add 6 tablespoons of powdered sugar. So I've just taken sugar and ground it to a fine powder in my mixer jar. And then just take 6 tablespoons of the powdered sugar, add it to the milk powder. Now you're going to whisk the two together really well, that is the milk powder and the powdered sugar, till it mixes in really well. So I use this condensed milk for all my recipes. I'll leave a link of all the recipes that I use this in, like lemon pie and many other recipes, ice cream also. Now here I have 4 tablespoons of butter at room temperature. So get in all that butter.
So just 4 ingredients and you have your condensed milk ready in no time. So there's no cooking involved or anything. And then I'm just going to add a quarter cup of 1/4 cup of hot water. So I've just microwaved the water, or you can just boil it on your stove top. So it should be nice and piping hot, and just add a little at a time and mix all the 3 ingredients really well together. Now it does help if you use a whisk, because then you get a very smooth and lump-free mixture. So I always make a batch of this condensed milk and store it in my refrigerator, and whenever I need to make ice cream or any other kind of dessert, I just use it. And I measured it on my measuring scale. You get exactly 275 grams of the mixture. So you can see how fast it's become into this lovely smooth condensed milk consistency. And when you taste it, it tastes just like condensed milk. So you can see the consistency, it's so smooth. So that's it, guys. Your condensed milk is all ready to use for any of your recipes, and I will be posting a recipe very soon in which I will be using this condensed milk, and I will also post the recipes in which I have already used this condensed milk in the description box below. So thank you for being here. Thank you for watching this recipe.
recipe. So here I have some leftover basmati rice. You can use regular rice also, about 2 cups of rice. This is 1 medium onion sliced fine. This is a paste of 2 light green chilies and 4 cloves of garlic. This is 2 potatoes that are boiled and sliced, 2 carrots sliced and 1 capsicum sliced. This is 1 teaspoon of black pepper powder and 2 packets of chicken cubes. Heat a pan, and now we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of oil. Let the oil heat up really well. So now that our oil is nice and hot, we're first going to add the carrots and fry them, just flash fry them. That is for hardly half a minute. We're going to fry each of the vegetables, and as the vegetables get ready or get fried a little, we're going to take them out in a separate plate. So here you can see I'm just frying these carrots for about half a minute. We don't want to really fry them a lot, just a little. And once they're done, we're just going to take them out in a plate. Now with the potatoes, I have used boiled potatoes, but if you have raw potatoes, just wash them well, peel them, and cut them up into, how you would do for French fries. And you have to fry those also till they're golden brown. Now here I'm using boiled potatoes since I had boiled potatoes at hand. I'm just going to add those potatoes and I'm going to fry them till they're nice and crispy and golden brown. So the potatoes we have to fry a little bit more till they're nice and golden brown. So now you can see that the potatoes have become nice and golden brown and crispy. So we'll take out the potatoes. Next we're going to add in the capsicum. And again, flash fry the capsicum. By flash fry, I mean just fry them really on a high flame for a very little time. So when the veggies turn from, their normal color to a little bit of a white color. So once the capsicum is also fried, just take it out of the pan. And now we're going to add the onions, and we're going to fry the onions till they're nice and crispy and golden brown in color. So in this way, we're just going to fry the onions. The onions will take a little longer time than the rest of the veggies, so it took me about 1 whole minute on a medium to very high flame, stirring continuously. Don't leave it unattended, otherwise it will burn. So just keep stirring it till it turns into a nice crispy golden brown color. And now you can see our onions are also ready. So I'm going to lower the flame and I'm just going to take off the onions in the same plate. Now to the same oil, I'm going to add this green chili and garlic paste. And we're going to fry this paste really well. So you can adjust it as per your liking, whether you want it very spicy or you just want it mild. And now fry this paste really well till the rawness of the garlic goes away. And now, once the paste is really fried well, we're going to add all the veggies back to the pan. This is completely optional, but I'm adding a little bit of cashew nuts. Mix everything really nicely together. And now we're going to add some lovely flavoring, which is the pepper powder. So add this pepper powder, black pepper powder, and again mix everything really nicely together. And now we're going to add the rice. So like I said, I'm using yesterday's leftover basmati rice, but I did put it in the fridge in the night so that it becomes nice and easy. Each of the grains are separated. Now, if you want to see how I cook my rice so that it doesn't become mushy, I'll leave a link of how to cook basmati rice. You can also use regular cooked rice, whatever leftover rice you have. Now mix everything really nicely with the veggies, the pepper powder, all of it nicely together. And now that everything is mixed well, I'm going to add these Maggi, soup cubes. Now I'm using the chicken flavor, but you can also use the veg flavor if you want to stick to it completely veg. I like the chicken flavor. It really enhances the taste of the dish, and I'm using two of them. So when you're using these cubes, you don't have to add any salt because these cubes have got a lot of salt in them. So please don't add any salt to this recipe. Mix everything very well together, and that's it, guys. Your lovely, you can call this a pulao or just a mixed veg rice recipe. And here is this yummalicious rice all ready. It's a great tiffin recipe or just something you can put together in a jiffy. So friends, let's make today's delicious crispy moong bhaji. Now here I've washed 1 cup of yellow moong dal really well under water, and then I'm going to soak it in 3 cups of water for about 4 hours at least. Just cover and keep it aside. After 4 hours, drain out all the water. You see that the moong swells up a bit. Now here I'm roasting 2 tablespoons of fennel seeds, also called saw, for about a minute. And after roasting it for a minute, just turn off the heat and let it come to room temperature. After that, we're going to, once it cools down, we're going to grind this to a very coarse powder. This really adds an amazing flavor to this bhajis. Now I'm going to add this to the soaked moong. Next, I'm going to be making a paste, a very coarse paste, out of 4 green chilies and half an inch of ginger. These are light green chilies, so they're not very spicy. So you're going to grind this also to a very coarse paste. And you're going to add this paste to the moong as well. Now I'm going to transfer these 3 ingredients to a mixer jar or a blender. We just have to add a few spices. So first I'm going to add 1.5 teaspoon of pepper powder. Next I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of dhania powder or coriander powder. Now all these powders are homemade. All I do is just roast the pepper lightly and then grind it, roast the dhania and grind it. The same with cumin or jeera also. Next I added half a teaspoon of haldi powder, turmeric, and some salt to taste. Now once we've added all the ingredients, we're going to grind this to a very coarse paste. We don't want a very fine paste but a very coarse paste. Now we're going to add half a cup of finely chopped coriander leaves and then mix everything really well together. And now all you have to do is just heat up some oil and make small balls like this and just fry them till they're nice and golden brown and crispy. And then just drain the excess oil on a metal sieve, because that way they remain crispy. Don't drain them on a tissue, that way they become soggy. So always drain whenever you're deep frying anything and you want it to be crispy. Always use a metal sieve or a wire mesh and drain off all the excess oil. And this goes best with some tamarind chutney. So I have shared my tamarind chutney after this recipe. So do give this recipe a try, guys.